This video is a much needed update on my anxiety medications, what I'm currently taking, how it's working for me, all that kind of stuff. Now, I talk about other botanicals on this channel. Just make sure you're checking with your doctor before you try combining any of these. It's really important that you are not combining certain medications together that have a known interaction, and it can be very dangerous. Also, I am not a medical professional. Everything I'm speaking on is my own personal experience, and I am not telling you to go out and do a certain thing. I'm just speaking on my experience only. I am still taking Buspirone, and I've done a video about Buspirone in the past. The way that Buspirone works is that it attaches to the serotonin receptors, and then it modulates how serotonin works in the brain. Now, with this medication, I find that it has a much lower threshold for being dependent on it, as well as the least amount of side effects, in my opinion. And the reason that I'm going to speak on the certain side effects and maybe the very little side effects that I have from these medications is because I take such a small amount. And I think everybody should always start off on a small amount. And I hear people that start taking Buspirone and they're starting out on 20 milligrams. And I'm just like, how? I tried to jump from 5 milligrams to 7.5 milligrams, and like, I felt awful. I felt like all of these weird brain zaps. I felt cognitively unaware for like about an hour, and it was really frustrating. Now, when I first started taking Buspirone, I noticed that I felt a little bit spacey and a little bit lightheaded, I would say, and it depended on whether I had an empty stomach or I had eaten. And now it doesn't make a difference to me. I feel like I'm pretty used to it, and I've been on the 5 milligrams for a while. I take 5 milligrams 2 to 3 times daily, and I never take it past 3 p.m. For me personally, Buspirone affects my sleep, and I cannot fall asleep if I take it past 3 p.m. Buspirone also works in a very interesting way because it doesn't work for a long period of time, so you're only going to notice about 2 hours, I would say, or 3 hours of an effect. And it's not enough for me to take one of those to stop a panic attack once it's already started. But I feel like it's a pretty good preventative just to add on top of the medication that I'm taking already. The main medication that I'm taking for my anxiety is Duloxetine or Cymbalta, and I've already done some other videos on it, and I'll put it here. It's been a while. I've been on it for a while. I tried to jump up from 30 milligrams to like 40 milligrams and then 50 milligrams. I'm just back down on the 20 milligrams because 20 milligrams is where I have the least amount of side effects, and I feel like it does just enough to keep some of my anxiety at bay. I'm still trying to figure things out. I wonder if I should probably take it twice a day because I feel really great for the most part of the day, and then around like 6 p.m. I start having that chest pressure come back, which indicates to me that I'm gonna have a panic attack, and this happens every single day. My anxiety journey has been a very frustrating one. I don't know why it happens. There's no trigger anymore. It just happens, and it's very frustrating, but I'm taking some supplements that target the nervous system to see if it's like a nervous system issue, because that's what it feels like to me. And actually, something that's really good for the nervous system that's an herb or a botanical, which I'm all about on this channel, is saffron. Look into saffron. Again, you're not going to want to take it in combination with certain medications, but saffron is very interesting and has a lot of really great benefits. There's also some other ones, but you can absolutely not take them with these medications I'm mentioning because of serotonin syndrome, so I'm not even going to mention them, but if you want me to do a video about it, let me know in the comments and I will. So some of the side effects that I would get on Duloxetine, Cymbalta, when I was hitting like the 40 and 50 milligram mark, was that I was noticing I was feeling very nauseous, lightheaded, dizzy, and really sleepy. I was exhausted by like 2 p.m. I felt like I could just go to bed every single day. And I would take it at 7 a.m. And even after getting like a full night's sleep, I was still exhausted all the time. And as someone who deals with chronic fatigue, feeling exhausted all the time is already a normal thing for me, and to feel an even elevated sense of that is really, really frustrating. So that's what made me lower back down pretty quickly. I didn't have any withdrawals lowering back down to 20 milligrams. I think it was because I wasn't on a 50 milligram amount for a long period of time. And it's really frustrating too, because I know that technically speaking, scientifically speaking, 60 milligrams is supposed to be the sweet spot for anxiety. And while it may work, I would rather have some of my anxiety symptoms and like be awake for my life, you know? I just don't like sleeping all the time. I can't sleep all the time because of my profession, and that's really what it boiled down to, was like, I'm gonna go to the amount that I'm comfortable at, have the least amount of side effects, and it's just enough to take a little bit of the edge off for some of the day. Now, part of me kind of wants to take another 20 milligrams every 12 hours, so every 12 hours be taking 20 milligrams. I think I'm gonna try it out this summer while I have the time and see how that works for me. I actually think it's going to work really well. We'll see, because I accidentally forgot to take one of my servings, and then I took it later, and then I took the other one in the morning, and I was fine. I also take kratom for anxiety, and right now I am on a kratom break, and I take regular breaks with that botanical. And for me personally, I'm starting to notice some of my more severe anxiety symptoms coming back since I've stopped taking kratom. I also think my body just needs to balance out a little bit too, and I increased my consumption of things like magnolia bark extract. It's really fantastic. It doesn't interfere with any of my medications. Now, I really hate talking about this medication because I feel a lot of shame talking about it, and I take Klonopin still. I've been on it for a while now, and I'm really worried about what it's doing to like my memory and my brain and all of that, and I really want to get off of it, but I don't want to say I can't because I don't like using the can't word. I have a really hard time, not because of the withdrawals. I don't notice any withdrawals. I take a very, very small amount, like 0.25 milligrams, maybe less than that, once a day. And that helps me sleep at night, and that's basically it with that. I noticed that I can't like stop a full-on panic attack from coming unless I take a half of one, and I can't sleep at night unless I take a half of one. So maybe I am dependent on it, but I don't really have any severe withdrawals or anything if I do stop taking it. As always, my stance hasn't really changed in that like I just wish the anxiety would go away. I've tried so many things at this point to help it, and I don't know why these panic attacks keep happening every single day. The chest pressure comes in the evening. It makes me sad, right? Because we don't want to rely on medication. I wish I could just take botanicals forever and just rely on that. I heard someone say this and it really resonated with me, and it was that it's okay to take modern medication for a modern disease, illness, what have you. And I definitely really agree with that. So I hope this video kind of gave you an up-to-date of like where I am with everything. If you want to share your experiences with any of those medications in the comments below, please be nice. Thank you all for being here, and I'll see you in the next update video.